So, okay, so again, good morning.
Good morning, back. Welcome back to
Okay,
our Superfood for Super You sessions. As Tony said, been having these for several weeks now, and our statistics, we want to help people get healthier, get better, and get to be living a longer life by changing our mindset and giving you lots and lots of information about nutrition, what you should be doing with your food. If you've been on previous shows, you would have heard about what types of food you should be focusing on. And today is a summary of all those nutrients that you need in your food to make you look better, live longer, and by God's grace, be having a healthier, happier lifestyle than what you have today. So every day should be an improvement, Tony. So I'm looking forward to today's show because it's
okay.
going to be a real eye-opener
So,
for all those benefits.
so just remind us, what's the life expectancy that we have nowadays
The
in
life
Nigeria?
expectancy is 57 years.
Fantastic, fantastic.
57 years young.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's
And
terrible.
that's very young.
Yeah, and we have people suffering from diabetes.
We
Yeah,
do every 2 minutes.
right.
Somebody is diagnosed with diabetes every 2 minutes.
Wow, wow.
And
Every
that's
two
quite
minutes.
shocking.
So we
Okay.
had,
So we have high blood pressure.
we've had six people diagnosed already today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's terrible,
Yes,
isn't
so
it?
that's every 2 minutes. Okay, then we
Yeah.
have a lifestyle illness of high blood pressure. Now, high blood pressure puts 1 in 4 Nigerians at risk every single day, and around 9 out of 10 Nigerians are totally unaware that they have high blood pressure. That's
Wow,
9 out of 10 Nigerians walking around not
wow,
knowing that they have high blood pressure
wow,
until it gets worse.
wow.
Okay. And that's quite shocking as well. So we're here to improve and develop your mindset and information. So cancer, 10 Nigerians die every hour of cancer. That's adults, male, female, children from different types of cancer. That's a
Wow.
huge number of people. And
Yes.
then finally, obesity, 1 in 4 adults in Nigeria are obese, that's 1 in 4, and 1 in 10 children in Nigeria are obese by the age of 4 again.
Wow.
So again, we have these statistics that should be eye-openers to you, and we don't want to be part of the statistics. We
Wow.
don't want to add to those
Wow.
numbers.
Wow. Wow. Well, Sharon, one thing I'll say to you is, look, you know what? This is real. This is serious. Nigeria is, I mean, many African countries are in this place. And one thing I always say to people is about health span, lifespan. It's not just about how long you live, it's how well you live. And when I say well, how well you live, it's not really how many cars you're driving, because you can only drive one car, or how many houses you have, because you can only live in one house, or how many lands you have, because you can only build a house, you know, we stay on one land at one time. So really, and how many watches you have? No, that's not how well you live. How well you live is how healthy you live. So what is your health span? Are you currently in a position whereby your health span has kind of like paused? I won't say stopped, paused. That means when I say your health span has paused, it means that you have an illness or you're sick, yeah, and you're living on medication, and you're gonna have to now do that for a period of time. Have you set a deadline for that? When I say set a deadline for your illness or set a deadline for you not being well or it being in the illness zone or the dying zone, have you decided you don't want to die anymore? Not at your time. You want to die at God's time or the time given to you. Yeah. So if you've decided that, then you now need to start looking at the healthy stuff, the healthy things that we're talking about today. Today is about the nutrients. It's about the nutrients and the micronutrients, the macronutrients, and we've got Jeremiah on the call. And Sharon, is there anything else you want to say before we pass over?
Yeah, just to alert people that this week has been National Nutrition Week.
Okay,
And that's therefore why we're actually focusing on the part of nutrition.
right.
So
Okay.
let's have our books ready, our pens ready. And if you do have any questions, please do drop those questions in our chat box and we'll endeavor to answer them as we go along.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have questions. I know we have people all the way in Jos. We have people all the way in Abuja. We have people all the way in Lagos, and we have people all the way in London. So hello the world. So, yeah, just to make sure. So Jeremiah will be coming on. So let's just hear Jeremiah. Hi Jeremiah, how you doing? How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm
We
fine,
are,
sir. Good, sir.
yeah. Jeremiah, just let everyone know who you are so that they can understand from what perspective you're coming from. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Jeremiah Ape. I'm a nutritionist. I'm the nutritionist for Healthy Living Show. So I'm here to inspire you to eat better, live better, and achieve the life that you desire and give you a healthy span. Health span over lifespan.
Okay.
Yes.
So we want you to be healthy. So that's one of the things. So we've got a few slides to show you. So what's gonna happen is Jeremiah is just gonna say a few words before we start the slides. Yeah, about what we're doing today. So Jeremiah, just give us a few words about what we're gonna do today for them.
Okay, so we'll be talking about the nutrients today, so you understand why we say certain things, why we inspire people to eat certain food and inspire them to limit certain food. So that's one of the reasons we're talking about the nutrients we're going to be eating, so you understand that you are what you absorb, so you know what you absorb and how it functions in your body. So that's what we'll be looking about today.
Okay, so Jeremiah is going to be talking about the foods that are good for us, the foods that will give us those nutrients. I'm just going to generally do an introduction first, just to kind of like talk about, just describe a little bit about micronutrients and macronutrients. And so therefore you got a good understanding of that. And then Jeremiah will now delve into, okay, what is, give me some of the nutrients in the macro. Give me the nutrients in the micro and give me the relevance of the kind of foods that we have. Because what we want to do, remember one thing, we go to the pharmacist and we get medication, we get all types of things, medications and drugs and so on. But when you go to your kitchen, you need to look at it as a a pharmacist. You could call it like a food pharmacist. And you kind of say, right, I feel like I need to boost this, and I feel that my vitamin D is low and so on. What do I take in my kitchen? What's in my kitchen to increase my vitamin D? What's in my kitchen to add more vitamin C to myself? And so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that. So Jeremiah, I'm going to just start off, and then we're going to finish. Sharon, is there anything you want to say? We're gonna love you and leave you for a few minutes. Yeah.
That's fine. I'm just so interested in the macro and micro nutrients and all of that information. So I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Okay, cool. We're gonna learn something today. We're gonna learn something today. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay. So me and you, Jeremiah, just me and you,
Yes,
just
sir.
me and you, just
Just
me and.
me and you.
Uh-oh, somebody unmuted me, so I just say again, just me and you. Yeah. So I
Me and
think,
you, sir.
okay, good. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just show the slide now. So guys, look out for the slide. If you see the slide, just say hi slide. Just say hi slide on your chat. Hi slide, because the slide's gonna be helping us through this thing. Whoops. Can you see a slide, Jeremiah?
Not yet.
Not yet. Wow. Okay, so okay, I think I know what to do. Yep. So we haven't said hi slide, so that means you haven't seen the slide. So as we always say, live is live. So we're gonna see the slide very soon. Here we go. Okay, so you should now in 1 second see a slide and say hi. Okay, okay. Can you see a slide now? Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, slide. Okay,
Hi,
so
slide.
all right,
Yes.
so fine. So what we're going to do, I'm going to just run through a few things quickly, and then Jeremiah is going to go through his slides also. So the first thing is obviously the micronutrients. I want to just let people, you might hear of micronutrients, macronutrients. You might not even know how to categorize your food, whether you're eating micros or macros. Okay, so really the first thing we need to say is there are three micronutrients. And these three are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Those are your macronutrients. Yeah. And what you see is they're normally called energy nutrients. because they provide carbon which can be burnt for energy production. So those are energy production. And also what you'll find is they provide calories also. They're micronutrients are the ones that provide calories. Okay, so just to let you know. Okay, so just moving on to the next slide. I'm going to move slide by slide. Okay, so now let's look at the first micronutrient, which is carbohydrates. Now, most carbohydrates provide 4 calories per gram. So you get 4 calories per gram from a carbohydrate, most of them. But fiber, which is also part of the type of carbohydrate, okay, provides 2 calories per gram. We have sugar alcohol, which can provide between 0 to 3 calories per gram. Yeah. And these calories are obviously what we count. Yeah. Now you also have what also carbohydrates do, they spare protein from being used as energy. So we don't want, some people say they're going on fasting. Yeah. And when you go on fasting, some people say they lose weight. But sometimes you need to ask themselves, are they burning the fat or are they burning the protein? Yeah. Now, what you'll probably find is most times they're not burning fat when you go on fasting. The fat is still there. You're burning essential things, essential protein. Yeah. And then what you'll see is your muscles they're getting thinner. So that's one thing that we see there. So also what they do, they can you can store carbohydrates as energy also. Yeah. And that's the glycogen. Now, that means that your body can store it about 2,000 calories. It's got a capacity, 2,000 calories of storage. Yeah. Fiber aids in digestion. Some types of fiber are prebiotics. That means that it helps the gut become very healthy. And we know that 70% of our immune system is in our gut. Yeah. So that means if we're having fiber. So remember another thing about fiber, because fiber, we talk about soluble and non-soluble fiber. Fiber is you'll find that it's not the body. We don't digest fiber. We don't digest fiber. So unlike cows, they can digest fiber, but we as humans can't digest fiber. Okay. What fiber does is it actually goes through our system and helps with clearing our system out. Okay. Okay. And another number of other things. Okay. Typically, we need in our diet about 45% to 65% of our diet should be carbohydrates, typically. Yeah. Okay. So, so we're going to move on to the next part, which is now we're going on to our second carbohydrate, our second micronutrient, which is protein. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with protein. Yeah. With protein, it provides you similar amounts of calories, which is 4 calories per gram. Okay. It helps make up hormones in your body. And what are hormones? These are chemical messages that travel through the body, coordinating complex processes that often involve the interaction of several organs. Okay. It's also in building and maintaining tissues, helps build and maintain tissues. Requirement is higher for growing children and athletes. You see people that want muscles, those big Mr. Universe or those anyone that's in athletics, they need more protein than the standard. Yeah. Children, when they're growing, they need more protein on that side. Yeah. It makes up enzymes, which function as catalysts, which help speed up your rate or at which your metabolic and reactions occur. Okay, so that's another good thing. It also helps make up antibodies, which obviously we know what the antibodies do. They fight bacteria, viruses in the body, and they transport protein, enable nutrients to go to the right tissues. So obviously they aid in transporting protein. Okay, so typically on your plate or for your daily diet, you're talking about 10% to 35%. Now sometimes I can see 50% on someone's plate, especially when they're having meat. Yeah. And so really we've got to look at that 10% to 35%. So I hope that's clear. So then, moving on to the next one. Fat. Now, fat, some people say, fat. Isn't fat bad for us? Well, this is one of the things that we have to understand is fat. We're not talking about all fats here. We're talking about the good fats here. Okay. So here, now, funny enough, fat provides almost over double the amount of calories per gram. Yeah. So 9 calories per gram do you get from fat. Yeah. Fat's good for remember what it does? It insulates the body. That means that your body can stay at a certain temperature. Yeah. And also protects the body from extreme temperatures because fat is just under the skin. Yeah. And it helps regulate the temperature of the body. Okay. It also acts as a cushion around major organs by absorbing shock from sudden impact. Okay. You'll find some vitamins are not soluble unless you have fat. Yeah. So it helps in vitamin absorption. So what you'll find is vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K are fat soluble. Okay. And then essential fatty acids that the body can't produce, we can get from the fat. Okay. Yeah. I've got protein here, but it should be fat. Typically 20 to 35% of your food should be fat. Okay. So I hope that's clear. Okay, so let's just quickly go through the micro. So that's the macro. So the macro you've seen there are the carbohydrates, which remember includes fiber. Yeah. You've seen the fat, which is obviously under our skin and so on, but the good fat. Because remember one thing, with the fat, what you've got to be careful about is that the fat is not saturated. We're not talking about saturated fats. We're not talking about trans fat. We're talking about good fat. Where can you get good fat from? I'm sure you will see Jeremiah will talk to you about where you get all the fats from that are good, yeah, from that side. Okay, so let's talk about the micronutrients. The micronutrients, what you see is they're called small, because micro is small, isn't it? Quantities, vitamins and minerals. Yeah, their impact on the body's health are critical, and deficiency in any of them can cause severe and even life-threatening conditions. Now, can you hear this very clearly? Yeah, micronutrients, their impact our body's health are critical, and deficiency in any of them can cause severe and even life-threatening conditions. So this is a very, very important part you need to listen to. Now, like we say, it comes in much smaller quantities. They do not contribute to any calories. Yeah, so when you're taking vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C, there's no calories in them, no calories. Okay, and they maintain essential body functions. Okay, that's why they're micro. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah is going to talk to you about the foods that you can get from carbohydrates and explain carbohydrates a little bit more too. Okay, so Jeremiah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
are you
Yes,
ready? Are you
I'm
ready?
ready.
They're
Yes,
ready
sir.
for you. They know what a macronutrients are. They know what a micronutrient is, and they're now trying to say, well, where do I get these things? What are they? You know, what is there? What is there? So here we go. So Sharon, do you want to say anything before we wrap up? Before we go over to Jeremiah? Yeah. Sharon, do you have any questions on the chat at all before we go over to Jeremiah? Okay,
Just
Sharon has.
unmuted myself. Okay, there are no questions, but that was a really very, very interesting kind of like summary of the macro and micro.
Right.
One of the things that is really revealing is that with the micronutrients, which is the vitamins and minerals, you can eat as much as you want.
No
As much
calories.
as you want. And the greatest eye-opener for me and the ear buzzer was it doesn't contribute to additional calories. So it's all about focusing on what is right for your body
Okay.
that doesn't add.
I'd have a caveat to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't eat as much as you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's also can be dangerous. Okay. But you see one thing, if you're getting them from supplements, then you have to be careful how much you're taking in. If you're getting it from food, then the body can take what it requires from the food and
Okay.
excrete the rest out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that
So
makes sense.
Jeremiah, you agreeing to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So what's important on this show is very important is, I know some people are going to say, you know what, let me go and buy some vitamin C. Let me go and buy some supplements on vitamin K. It's fine. It's fine. But then you have to now measure how much does the body need before it becomes a problem for the body. Yeah. But guess what? If you know the foods that have it in, then you don't need to worry too much. Because guess what? The body knows how to deal with food and knows that I take what I require from food and I send the rest out. Yeah. And remember, you've got your fiber there also, and your fiber has a soluble fiber and the non-soluble fiber. Okay. So, Jeremiah,
Yes,
we're going
sir.
to go over to you now. Yeah. So, Sharon, anything else? Any more
No, just
questions?
one more thing. I hope it's a brief explanation that you can give on. You talked about the fats and you talked about the essential fatty acids. I just wanted some clarity on what that actually means in relation to these nutrients.
Well, I think Jeremiah, do you want to go on that one?
So what it means by essential is that the body cannot provide it. So you need to get it from the foods that we eat. That's the meaning of the essential fatty acid. Essential means the body cannot provide it. So you need to get it from the food that we eat to keep the body functioning. So that's it.
So specifically for the essential fatty acids,
Yes.
I know it's only 9, you noted that it's 9 calories per gram and it helps in the vitamin absorption. But when you talk about
not the fatty acids, that's the fat.
no, the fats.
Yeah, fats.
Yes, I said the fats.
Okay.
So essential fatty acids under fats. I was just a little bit confused. Maybe as you're talking about the different types of food, you can actually cover that as you speak.
Okay, no problem. So we'll talk further. So over to you, Jeremiah. We want to hear
Yes.
more. Yeah. Okay. So you will see Jeremiah. Say hi to the slide if you see it.
It's there.
Hi to the slide. I can see it. So over to you, Jeremiah. Okay.
Yes. So I'm seeing micronutrients, vitamins, and mineral. Okay. So for the carbohydrates, like you said, it's a provide major source for the energy for the people all around the world. So it's for everybody. So it's essential to the body. So they provide more calories that the body needs, more than the fats and the protein. So in the place where protein and fats are scarce, carbohydrates can actually cover for you in the calories that you need. And why it's named carbohydrate? Because of the elements that it contain of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So once they provide energy, they also help you for normal fat metabolism, and they also help you to provide fiber, like Mr. Tony said earlier on. So this is what actually carbohydrate entails. So not to just go more, since Mr. Tony have explained most of it. So I'm just giving a brief of it. So this is carbohydrates. So I'm looking at the sources where you can actually get these carbohydrates. So just to show you the foods that are actually rich in carbohydrates per 100 grams. So we have your rice, which contains 80 grams of carbohydrates. The best, which is your brown rice. And you have the quinoa, which contains 64 grams of carbohydrates. You have your oats, which contains 68 grams of carbohydrates. You have a banana, which contains 25 to 27 grams of carbohydrates. So this gives you a good amount of energy to keep your body functioning for your daily activities. So these are the top 4 that I can actually give out to say these are food that are rich in carbohydrates per 100 grams. So moving on to the proteins. So the proteins, like Mr. Tony said, they are the basic materials for the body cells. Your body actually need proteins to build up the body. It's essential for the normal growth and development and maintenance of your health. So the word proteins is gotten from the Greek word which says first importance. So that means your body actually needs it. Like Mr. Tony said, it's very, very important for a growing child and an athlete. So one of the things you do to build up your body, the first important thing you need to get is your protein. So it helps build up your body and repair your tissue. That's why athletes are more into it. And also help you regulate most of the body function that your body needs, and also provide energy. It can be like a reservoir for energy. So I'm looking at the top 4, that the best amount of protein that your body can actually have, like your body need for it to function. We have your pumpkin seed, which contains 32 grams of protein per 100 grams. You have your peanuts, which contain 26 grams, and we have your beans, which contains 24 grams. We have your almond seed, which contain 22 grams. So these are good and one of the best example of the plant protein you can actually have, which is actually good for your body. And almond, you can also get milk from almond when you actually blend them, so you can still produce more things from the almond seed. And your beans also contains good amount of fiber, which was like 14 grams of fiber. So there are also added advantages you can have to your protein. So this is why it is called protein first important. So now look at the fats, which Madam Sharon was actually talking about, which I'm going to explain certain things. So these fats, they are greasy substances. They are not soluble in water. They are soluble in some solvents like benzenes and your chloroform. So they provide more concentrated source of energy, which means they can also provide energy as that of carbohydrates. So like the Tony said, it contains 9 calories. So this is twice the calories content of carbohydrates. So, and fast food are actually expensive. So, and unlike your carbohydrates and your protein. So one of the things they do, they provide energy. They carry fat-soluble vitamins like your vitamin A, D, E, and K. So, and they supply essential fatty acids, which means your body cannot provide that particular fat that your body needs. So you need to get it from your food. That's why it's called essential fatty acids. So they also protect and support organs and bone. Mr. Tony also said that. So looking at the examples of these good fats that we can actually eat that your body need per 100 grams. So we have your avocado, 14.7 grams. You have your peanuts, 47 grams. You have your cashew, 49 grams. You have your almond also, which is a 51 grams. So these are essential fatty acids which your body actually needs for it to function. And why it is important we know why these fats are good is because of we have categories of fats. We have the saturated fats, we have the unsaturated fat. So the saturated fat are the ones that cause major of the life sickness we hear about. And we have the unsaturated fat, which are good for your health, which are the essential acid which your body needs. So these are the differences. I hope Madam Sharon is getting it now. These are the differences between the kind of fat we're talking about. So when we talk about the essential fatty acids, which your body needs, which they are the unsaturated fats that you can get from this other food, from this plant source to help your body function. Those are the good fats that your body needs. So we have the unsaturated fat, polyunsaturated fat, all under the unsaturated fat. So these are the good fats that your body needs. So these are it per 100 grams. So when tell you this kind of fat, this is, you can eat it. They say it contains fat, fat are not good. So there are 2 categories of fats, the saturated and the unsaturated fat. So the one we tell you to eat are the unsaturated fat, which are essential for your body. So these are about the micronutrients. So I don't know if there's any question or about it. See, before I move to the
And there are no questions, but that's actually answered my query from before.
okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Fantastic. So that's that. So if there's any question, you can put it on the chat box. We will answer that. So we'll look at the micronutrients. There we have the vitamins and the minerals. So like Mr. Tony said, the vitamins are very, very important. They're essential for the body. They are gotten in smaller amounts. The vitamins are gotten in smaller amounts. They don't produce energy. That means they don't contain calorie nor fiber, but they enable your body to be able to function well. They enable your body to be able to use that energy you get from your carbohydrates, your fat, and your protein. So the word vital means life. So when we hear things like vital organ, means, okay, life organ. So these are the things you don't see, these are the things that are within. So when we're telling you to eat certain food, because we know the food are going within, and things within propel you how you live outside. So this is the health span we are actually talking about. And these vitamins are divided into two. We have the fat-soluble vitamins and the water-soluble vitamins. So the fat-soluble vitamins are where we have the vitamin A, D, E, and K. And the water-soluble vitamins are where we have the B vitamins, or B1, B2, B3, B5, B7, B9, and B12. So we're looking at the fat-soluble vitamins, where we can actually get this food per 100 grams. Like I said, they are gotten in smaller amounts. So we'll be looking at where we can get them, where we can actually get our vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. So your vitamin A, which is also known as retinol, which is actually good for the body. So we have it in your sweet potatoes. We have up to 1,403 micrograms. Since they're getting a small amount, that's why they're in micrograms, and they are very, very good to help the body function. So we have your carrots, you have your broccoli, you have your spinach, your lettuce, and your pawpaw. So these are the best. These are the ones that contain much amount of the vitamin A. So if you are suffering from a deficiency like eye deficiency, skin deficiency, and you want to get more of your vitamin A, or you go to do a test and they tell you that your body is lacking vitamin A. So this is where you can get the actual best vitamin A, your sweet potato, your carrot, your broccoli, your spinach, your lettuce, and your pawpaw. So these are the best. And for vitamin D also, we have
so just so that we don't run through all of them quickly, I like the fact that you said it's retinol, yeah, which means that in terms of when you look at retinol, we're talking about eye.
yes.
You know, there's many people with eye problems, yeah, and eyesight problems. So what we're saying here, just to let them know, is if they're taking vitamin A, will it help their eyesight?
Yes, it will help their eyes.
You know, I also know it also protects against cataracts, which
Yes,
is something people suffer in older ages too. You know, and like we said, bone development and with the immune system too. Yeah. And it also, like we talked about, certain types of cancers, it helps combat certain types of cancers. So it's a quite powerful vitamin, isn't it? Vitamin A.
yes, vitamin.
Okay.
That's most of the functions it contains. So also your vitamin D, which actually helps your bone. So one can actually get them from mushroom, which contains 1.6 micrograms of it, and you can also get them from your sunlight, and also refresh. It gives us healthy skin. And also look at our vitamin E, which actually helps most of the things in our brains. So it's part of the things that help our brain, and part of the things that helps the other minerals in your brain to actually function well. So we have our hazelnuts, we have our avocados, we have our almonds, we have our kiwi, we have our sunflower seeds, our mango, spinach, broccoli, kale, and beans. So these are healthy food that contains good amounts of vitamin E.
Okay, so just because I know my audience, I know people, we know our audience, yeah. We're going like on a motorway. We need to go like we're on the road. So we went from vitamin D to E, but we didn't kind of stop at vitamin D. And vitamin D, one of the things that the sources you said was from, you said the sources was from mushrooms, one of the mushrooms. But can we make sure we make it clear that we're talking about the plant-based ones? Are we talking?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we're talking about the plant-based. Yeah. I mean, from what I've can recall, because I don't eat much meat nowadays, but I do eat some. I don't eat much because I understand the impact of some of the things with meat. But salmon is a source of vitamin D. And then also, like we say, milk, fortified milk is also a source of vitamin D. And also, some people may actually go and get supplement, but you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful with the level of vitamin D that we have there. With supplements, you tend to find that some people might take too much, and that might cause problems. Yeah. And also, what we also got to understand is with vitamin D, just to kind of like so that I add some of the things that you've said already. Vitamin D, it maintains a normal level of calcium and phosphorus in our blood, and both of these actually strengthen our bones. So someone that's actually has weak bones or
Right.
get into arthritis, vitamin D is quite good for that. Remember one thing we said is we as black people, and I don't want to stretch this too much, is sometimes we go to the like you go to the doctor and they say you're deficient in vitamin D. And we have a different body to a white person or Caucasian. And what we find is that we have something that protects us from the sun so that we don't end up with skin cancer. But that's something I'll let you say what it is because I know what it is, but I want you to say what it is so that everyone can hear you. Yeah, you're there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have
Yes, sir.
melanin from the sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
protects us. Yeah. Now that protection from the sun is also stopping us from taking enough sun to convert it into vitamin D. That same protection a white person doesn't have. So that's why they have to use skin lotion, suntan lotion to protect them from the sun. Yeah. That means they produce more vitamin D with the same amount of sun. So this is one of the things that we also need to be aware of. I'm sorry I stopped on vitamin D, but I'm going to stop on everyone. So just be aware of it because we just want to make sure that people understand the importance of vitamin D. Now, if we're not getting it from the sun, what we're saying to you, where else can you get it? Okay. And where else you can get it from is for the only vegetable you can get it from is mushroom. So if you like mushrooms, great, fantastic. If you don't like mushrooms, like them. Yeah. Because I didn't like them before and now I like them. Okay. So
Yeah.
so you went to vitamin E now. Have you finished
Yeah.
with vitamin? So
So
Sharon, any questions on that? Sharon, any questions?
Yeah, yes. I think what's amazing is how we can find a substitute for all the vitamins through this list of foods. It's there and it's available.
You know, what a lot of people don't realize, Sharon, is all these vitamins come from food anyway.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All that's happened is people are lazy sometimes and they need to go and buy it in a capsule. Yeah. But we want your kitchen to be your clinic.
Yes.
We're not saying don't have supplements because you should have supplements if you're deficient. But what we're saying is if you can get it from your food, learn the power of your food. And this is what we're
Right.
showing you today. There are some people that are laying in the hospital. Yeah. Yeah. And they're laying there because they probably weren't aware that they can get certain nutrients from their food. Okay.
Sure.
And the power of those nutrients, what those nutrients can do. Okay, so
Yes,
thanks a lot.
sorry, there was a question.
Mm.
Somebody was asking about our fatty acids, saying that if our body can't produce fatty acids, what food can give us fatty acids, and what is the work of the fatty acids?
okay, that's great question in one. So maybe just take it slowly. So the question is what?
So they're questioning about the fatty acids in our body. What food can give us fatty acids, and what is the work of the fatty acids?
So one of the things I said is your body produces fat, like the fatty acid, but there's something we call the essential fatty acid. Those are the fats your body needs, but it can't produce it. Maybe I'll just make that very clear. So your body produces fatty acid, but your body cannot produce essential fatty acid. Essential means your body needs it, but it cannot produce it. So you need to get it from the food you eat. So your body can produce some certain fatty acids, but there are some that are called essential that it needs to produce for itself. So, and the foods that can give you the fatty acid, like I mentioned earlier in the Farmers like you see them there, your nuts are there, your avocados are there, your almond like there, and I told you your beans. So that I told you that your almond can also produce milk for you, which can also help your body and produce some other minerals and nutrients inside of it. And the function is that it can also be as a reservoir for energy, and also help the energy that's produced from the carbohydrate also to be able to, it can serve as a source of energy. It can also help maintaining the fat soluble vitamins, because the fat soluble vitamins dissolves into the fat. So it helps to maintain it and give it the bodily function that it should have. So that's what the fat soluble vitamins means. They are soluble inside of the fats that your body produces. So these are the works of the fatty acid, and your body can actually produce fat. But essential fatty acid means your body can't produce it. You need to get it from the food source. And the food source we are giving you are the ones that has good fat, which is the unsaturated fat that your body needs to be able to function well. So once the fat soluble vitamin sees it, can help the body to function well and perform the function that the vitamins need to perform in the body. I hope that's clear.
I think just to add to what Jeremiah said, we mustn't confuse things, because what we have to understand is you're talking about fat and you're talking about fatty acids. What foods can we get fat from?
Yes.
It's not really what foods you can get fatty acids from. What foods can you get fat from? Because remember, when you take foods with fat in, it breaks it down, the fat, into fatty acids. When you digest it, it breaks it down into fatty acids. Yeah. So then that fatty acid is now absorbed into the blood. Do you understand? It's absorbed into the blood. And what happens is from there, it now does the work. So really, what we have to understand is what you have to understand. And also remember, fatty acids, you asked about the functions in the body. Yeah. It helps with energy storage. Yeah. Energy storage too. Yeah. And and also that's with the glucose. We talk about glycogen now converted into glucose. So we don't want to get too technical, but I just want to just say to you that the question is not what foods you can get fatty acids from. It's what foods you can get fat from. Because when you now get that food with the fat, the good fat, by the way, yeah, it will now be digested and converted into fatty acids, which then gets into our blood. So I hope that answers your question. And if it doesn't, we can go technical, but later on.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. So where were we, Jeremiah?
So on vitamin E.
Vitamin E. Okay.
Yes.
So did I say anything about vitamin E?
No.
Or was it? I didn't say anything. Okay. So is it my turn? Is it my turn to say something about vitamin E? Yeah. Okay.
Like I just listed the food where we can get vitamin E and the major function, which is to help healthy brain. So it should help you.
Oh, I like that one. Healthy brain. Remember, guys, we had a program on healthy brain. Remember, and one of the things that we said is that a lot of people are suffering from Alzheimer's, and dementia, and they kind of like don't realize that the food has a part to play with it. And I think now scientists are beginning to realize. So obviously vitamin E protects, prevents. It's been said scientifically, it prevents, it helps prevent Alzheimer's disease. Yeah. So that's a good one to take on board. Jeremiah's gone through the foods already. Also, we know it's an antioxidant anyway. Yeah. But it also protects nutrients like vitamin A, yeah, and lipids from being damaged, yeah. So this protects another vitamin from being damaged, yeah. So that's another good thing about it. So okay, so over to you, Jeremiah.
Yes. So we'll look next at the first soluble vitamins are vitamin K. So this ones can be gotten from our dark green leafy vegetables, and it's important for blood clotting. So most of your dark green leafy vegetables contains vitamin K. So you have your Swiss chard, your spinach, your kale, your broccoli, your cucumber, your cabbage, your lettuce, your asparagus, your Brussels sprouts, your celery, your pumpkin leaf. So most of the vitamin K are found in this dark green leafy vegetable that helps for blood clotting. So that's for the fat soluble vitamin. I don't know if Mr. Tony have anything to say on vitamin K.
I think you said it all, but Jeremiah said, is that it essential for blood clotting. Yeah. Also, it also it activates protein and calcium. Yeah, on that side. Okay, so over to you again. What's
Yes,
next?
so that's for the fat soluble vitamins. So we're looking at the water soluble vitamins. So we understand how important they are to the body. So, and the water soluble vitamins means that they can dissolve in water, and once they dissolve in water, you can actually lose them if it's not properly cooked in a very, very good machine that can help you save most of the nutrients. So for example, we have our brown rice, which contains vitamin B1, B3, and B6. So, and any deficiency of this can tend to cause you to have beriberi, or a mouth sore where you have rashes in your mouth. And we have our soya beans, we have B1, B2, B9, and B7. So, and the B9, which means is the folates, also help most women during pregnancy and the likes. And we have the nuts, which contains B2, B3, B5, and B7. So these are good examples of vitamin B. And we have our dark green leafy vegetables. Like I said before, it also contains good amount of water-soluble vitamin. Almost all the soluble vitamins found in your dark green leafy vegetables. So like I said earlier, you have your broccoli, you have your pumpkin, your spinach, your celery, your kale, your Brussels sprouts, your cucumber, and the like. So these are examples of the water-soluble vitamins, your vitamin B. So if you have any deficiency of these are the top food you can actually run to and actually mix them to give you enough of these vitamins so your body will be able to function very, very well. So that's for the water-soluble vitamins. I don't know if that's what I meant to say before I move to the minerals.
Okay, there's a lot. Well, what I'll say is, look, just to explain to people each of those the B ones. Those are the B1, B3. Some people may say, where's B2? But anyway, B1. Obviously, I think that one, what from it helps convert food into energy. Yeah, it's also good. It's needed for healthy skin and your nervous system function. So that's with B1. So those are the that just want to break down. You've seen the foods itself. Yeah. You also got the B2, like you said, helps convert food into energy as gain, just like the B1 does. They have similar functions, but they add on, and it's necessary for healthy blood. So if you want a healthy blood, that's where the B2 comes in. So when you look at those foods itself, that's it. Then you obviously have the B3, like just look at the foods that Jeremiah is talking about for B3. They aid in converting food into energy again, yeah, and they support the circulatory system. Circular, okay. Then we've gone to now. You notice I haven't mentioned anything about B4 because for some reason it's not seen as an essential one anymore. So they've taken it out of the equation. So some of you might say there's some B's missing. There aren't missing. Science has advanced, nutrition science has advanced, and that says they're no longer essential because the body doesn't need them from the food. So anyway, vitamin B5, what you have is, lipins, yeah. S- they they have the hemoglobin, isn't it? Hemoglobin stuff going on. So they aid in the creation of lipins, yeah, and so on. So and okay, neurotransmitters too. Okay. So those are the The bees. Have I mentioned any other bees? Have I missed any bees? Have I missed any bees?
Yeah, you mentioned
Have I
1 to 5. So
1 to 5? Is there any ones I missed out? Oh, did I miss out 6? I missed out 6, didn't I? Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 6. 6 is actually important. 6 is actually important because it helps regulate amino acids affecting our sleep and appetite and our mood. You know, sometimes you get up, you're in a bad mood. Yeah. Maybe you should take something that can get you into a good mood. Maybe you can't sleep, you know. Also, it aids in creation of red blood cells. It helps and maintains cognitive and immune systems. So the red blood cells, it's on that side. Okay? B7, B7 helps synthesize glucose. Yeah, breaks down fatty acids and necessary for healthy bones and health. That's the B7s. The B9s coming to the end. I think from what I heard, Jeremiah has already said it. It's good. Folic, also known as folic acid. And you know, when you hear that, you're gonna hear mummies, babies, yeah. So that's what you have. Necessary for cell creations, ensures brain health of infants. Yeah. So that's it. I'm sure I feel like an infant. I might need some myself. Yeah. Vitamin B12. Yeah. That's also assists in making new cells, breaks down amino acids and fatty acids. Yeah. And preserves nerve cells and red blood cells and DNA. Yeah. And there we go. Those are all the Bs. And you notice there are some Bs missing. They're not, we haven't forgotten them. They're just no longer seen as essential. That's all. Okay, so Jeremiah, Sharon, is
Yes.
there anything you want to say?
So
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment. Popular vitamins like A, B, C, D, we hear about all the time. But vitamin K is not something that we hear about. And I think it was very kind of like informative to have that list of all the foods that has a high level of vitamin K in them. So when I was looking at the list, I was thinking that everything on that list is enough nutritional value in there for a meal. So and as I was listening, I was thinking, it'd be good to kind of focus on having a vitamin K day or a vitamin E day, which addresses some of the lists that you've mentioned there, which is more than enough to function on a daily basis. My mind was just going all over the place, but very
Right.
useful information.
Okay, good, good, great. Remember another thing, these vegetables also have other nutrients.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so you find that they have multiple nutrients in them.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jeremiah, over to you.
yes. Okay, so now look at the minerals. So the minerals are non-carbon containing, so they are actually inorganic elements that is necessary for the body to build up the tissue. It helps to regulate the body fluids or assist various body function. So minerals are naturally found in all body tissues. So any abnormal concentration of the minerals in the blood can help diagnose different disorders and can cause certain lifestyle disease that we need actually to work on. So that's where when we have certain lifestyle diseases like your hypertension, we now know that okay, there's a fault in certain minerals. So when you have a disease like arthritis and you need to absorb certain things, you know that okay, there's certain disorder in certain minerals. So minerals are very, very important in the body. That's why when you do tests, one of the things that they check in the hospital is your minerals to know how your body will to function and use them, how your kidney process them, how your liver process them, how your heart process them, how the circulatory system also process them. So minerals are very, very, very important to the body. So in as much as getting in a minute substance can also abuse them and cause certain illnesses for yourself. So I'm going to give you an example of certain minerals. So we have like two types of minerals. We have the macro minerals and the micro minerals. So the macro minerals are the ones that your body actually needs that are in all that are bigger. Let me say they're bigger or that your body needs more than the micro minerals. So that's where we have our calcium, your potassium, your iron, and your magnesium. So for example, where you can get more of your calcium, if your body needs calcium, it's the broccoli, your radish, your lemon, your spinach, your kale, your collard greens, your almond, your soya beans, and your okra. So this contains good amount of calcium that your body needs when you're suffering from, let's say, arthritis or soft bone tissue or osteoporosis or osteomalacia or such kind of disease that deals with bones, and your body needs calcium for strong bones. So these are the foods that you can actually look into to be able to get calcium. And there are some other things in our specialty, which I'm just going to give you for free, how you can also use other foods to absorb calcium into your body. So there are other certain techniques we know to help absorb this good calcium you can get from most especially your plant source into your body. Also, your potassium is very, very one of the important minerals that your body needs. So we can see them in your oranges, in your banana, your zucchini, your radish, your sweet potatoes, your spinach, your beans, lentils, apricots, tomatoes, avocados. And don't forget, this food also contains some other nutrients inside of them. One of the things that the potassium does is that it helps flush out too much sodium in the body. And we know sodium is being linked to the high blood pressure, hypertension. So what potassium does is that it helps excrete those sodium out of the body. And also looking at one of the important minerals is our iron. So our iron helps in the red blood cells. It helps your hemoglobin. So, and we have your broccoli, your spinach, your Brussels sprouts, most of your dark green leafy vegetables contains good amount of iron that your body needs in order to help the red blood cells function well and help your hemoglobin also to function well. And also what we another important minerals there is the magnesium. So we also have your broccoli, your spinach, your kale, your Brussels sprouts. So these are good amounts of minerals that your body needs, and because of one of the major function that they do to the body, that's why we call them one of the, because most of the, these are the most important minerals that you can actually look into. So when you're having issue of setting order, these are the minerals we actually look into to help keep the body functioning. So, Tony, I don't know if you have anything to add or say concerning this.
Okay, I just allowed you to carry. I, I just allowed you to flow. I know you're fast and furious. I should call you. There's a film called Fast and Furious. So just for my just input in terms of there are many minerals, and these are some of the minerals that you have itself. Obviously, calcium. These are the some of the main ones. And I think you've mentioned, like, obviously the bones. It's also good for your teeth too. So
Yes.
those of you, it's good for your teeth. So I think those are things. Um, I don't know whether it also maintains your blood pressure. Yeah, it maintains your blood pressure. So that's also good itself. And you've also talked about muscle contractions and relaxations, blood clotting. So that's calcium that you have there. Potassium is a good one for us because as you said, that it helps with the flushing out of the excess sodium and so on. And as African, as Nigerians, as Black people, the way we process sodium is different from the way a European white person processes salt. And they will excrete excess salt through their sweat, but we tend to store it. Yeah. So if we have something like potassium like this is good for us in terms of it helps with the blood pressure. By helping with the blood pressure, it means that it helps with the excess sodium too itself. And then also it balances fluid in the body. Yeah. Maintains a nice healthy heartbeat. Yeah, heartbeat. So and that's the potassium. For the iron you mentioned, those are the vegetables for iron. But obviously for iron, uh, you talked about the red blood cells already, because that's very important. Uh, and then also, it's also necessary for the chemical reactions to make the amino acids.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The collagens, hormones, yeah, and the neurotransmitters. Yeah, yeah, and that's on that, the iron. The um the magnesium, the magnesium, uh like we've said already, you've got the blood clotting, regulating blood pressure. Again, another one that's good for your bones and your teeth. So those of you that are more kind of mature and you're feeling your bones are not as strong as they used to be, let's try and take a little bit more magnesium, a little bit more calcium. Try and take them in a nice, healthy form. Like you said here, you've got the broccoli, you've got the spinach, you've got the kale, you've got the Brussels sprouts, or these healthy things going on here. So you've got all those things. So that's good for us on that side. And I don't know, there's other ones which I'm just going to briefly just talk about, but not elaborate on them too much, spend too much time on them. Obviously, uh, you've got the copper. Yeah, the copper is another one, essential in the metabolizing iron, maintaining the immune system, and also aids in red blood cells. Where do you get that from? You get that from your nuts, beans. Yeah, get copper from your nuts, beans, and a number of other things. Iodine. Some of you are familiar with iodine. Uh, Thyroid hormones, influences thyroid hormones. Yeah. Again, where do we get iodine from normally? Salt, fish. So that's another one that we can also have. Um, uh, manganese. I always get this mixed up with magnesium.
Mhm.
Manganese helps with the formation of bones. Yeah, helps with the formation of bones, and also metabolizes amino acids, cholesterol, and carbohydrates. Yeah, so that's another one. You know, I won't go through all of them because it might take a little bit long. Obviously, phosphorus helps build and protect bones and teeth again. Yeah, and helps convert food into energy. Yeah, you got that one. And then selenium.
Yeah.
Selenium, that's another one. Yeah, antioxidants that protects against cell damage and regulates thyroid hormones. Yeah. Where do you get that from? You've got obviously you've got the meat, your fish, and you've also got your nuts too. Yeah, you get a good form of food. We talked sodium. Sodium is another one. Yeah, uh, which obviously protects balances your fluid in your body. Also, it has a huge impact on your blood pressure. Yeah, and then also needed for muscle contraction. Got that there. Uh, Sulfur, yeah, which is like sulfurous, which stabilizes protein structures, contributes to healthy hair, skin, and nails. The final one I'll go through is zinc. Zinc is good in the creation of new cells, necessary for new cells necessary. And also what you have is it helps with the proper function of your immune system. Zinc is good, you know, when you have a wound, yeah, it helps with wound healing and also for taste and smell. That's a zinc. Yeah. So those are the ones that I will add on. And just for the benefit of those people that probably saw all these vegetables that were high in vitamin C and so on. Yeah. You know, what we need to do is look at the function of vitamin C vegetables. Yeah. And what they do. We've talked about, Sharon talked about vitamin K. Yeah. On that side. Yeah. And so on. So over to you, Sharon.
Yeah, it's really good to know what kind of minerals represent, which foods represent the minerals per 100 grams. So I just wanted to ask a question. So where we have a list of foods pertaining to calcium and potassium, iron, magnesium, and then you've gone on to further areas like zinc, etc. So is there a proportion of food that you should actually cut off? So, you know, to make it simpler, can you overdose on too much calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium all in one go? Is there a likelihood of that happening, or can it happen?
I think the question was kind of asked before and answered before. We
Yeah.
said if you can get your vitamins and your minerals from your food, then the body knows what to do with the excess.
Oh, excrete. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So that's the that's the answer to that one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if I say Jeremiah, is there anything else you want to say on this topic before we
Yes, yes, yes.
round
So
up?
the question that Sharon asked, I guess where she's coming from, because most
Okay.
people do ask that kind of question because they are worried of how to balance all these things. So
Yeah.
this is why we are here. This is why we have the Health Restore Club. So for you not to worry about it again, because most people worry that, okay, how would I, this one contains this one, how will I balance it? So we've actually done that for you on our Health Restore Club. So all you got to do is just to come on and see a presentation and make sure you become a member, a certified gold member. So you have access to your question being answered at a goal. And also any other question you need to ask, you can also clarify to me and Mr. Tony Webb to clarify that in order to save you a lot of stress of thinking, oh, the doctor said my sodium is high. The doctor said I need potassium. The doctor said we've settled that already for you. So once you just come on the Health Restore Club, become a gold member, certified, that will help you solve that answer, that question, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
in that note, we bring Nicky on, just ask her a few questions about the Health Restore Club. So therefore, we're going to be quick. We've only got a few minutes left now. So, oops, Nicky, you look very young there. Hello, sir. Let's see. Okay. I think I've got my. I think I need to go to Specsavers.
Not everybody would know what Specsavers is.
That's why I said that. Nicky, we can't see you on camera, so we can't add you. But anyway, while we're talking about that, please, everyone on the score. One of the things we say to you is obviously sign up to the Health Restore program. But the second thing we say is start the Health Restore program. Start the 30-day Health Restore program. Don't just sign up and get the information. Let's do something with the information. And if you start our program, which can take you from zero to hero, from illness to wellness, yeah, then you are going to now talk to other people about signing up to. So one thing I'll say to you is we're just waiting to hear from Nicky, but the program is a simple program. A lot of people have a bit of confusion about, okay, how much do
You've gone mute,
somebody
Tony.
unmuted me? I don't know. Okay. So anyway, so 1 second. I don't know what you heard from me just now. But anyway, the Health Restore program is here, and I am the one that will say join now because when I joined it the first time, it was amazing. I felt amazing. I felt I couldn't do it, number one. Yeah. And then I decided I was going to do something that I couldn't do so that I could be better than I am. Yeah. So then I decided to start, and then I suffered for the first 7 days, and then the rest of the 23 days left, I was feeling great, and at the end, my body was wonderful, and I felt good. You see, wellness is all we have, yeah, and illness is what we don't want, because in Nigeria we cannot afford to be ill. I don't care who is on this call. I don't care how many millions or billions you have in your bank account right now. You cannot afford to be ill because illness has no price limit. It has no limit to the cost. But wellness has a limit to how much you can spend. Yeah, because guess what? Everything is definite. Okay, so over to you, Nicky. Nicky, how are you doing? We saw you. I went to my opticians. and then I found you again. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. Again, once again, welcome to everyone on today's show. Thanks for being a part of the show. My name is Nike, and I am the coordinator of the 30-day Health Restore program. Okay, so I'm sure you're probably asking, okay, what's this all about? As you heard Mr. Tony mention, 30-day Health Restore program is basically to help you, as the name suggests, restore your health. I presume most of us have a car, or if not all, and from time to time, we would service the car so the car does not break down, right? So in the same way, we service our health, our bodies as it were, so that the body does not break down. Now, so how do I come in? I'm that woman that would literally take you by the hand to take you through. I stay with you throughout the 30-day program, just to ensure you get the best out of the program. So once you sign on to the program, we have two plans, two subscriptions, the Health Restore Club Gold membership. Then we have the Silver membership. The Gold goes for 50,000 Naira and the Silver goes for 30,000 Naira. And how it works is once you've signed on, we'll typically send you, you'd hear from me. I would call you to confirm your registration. Mr. Tony, you want to say something?
Yeah, okay, fine. So gold, just a quick, because we're going to wrap up. So gold is 50,000, you said, and silver is how much?
It's 30,000 Naira.
And then how long is it going? How long is the duration for the membership? For that 50,000, how long?
Okay, pardon me. Yeah, so the gold goals is 1 year's membership.
Fantastic.
1 year's membership.
So they're paying 50,000 for the whole year.
Correct.
Fantastic. Let me ask you a question, everyone on this call, please. If God forbid you're ill, if you're going to go to the hospital for the illness, how much would they ask you to put on account before they check you? Would 50,000 go anywhere? Now, what we're saying to you is 50,000 for a year of knowledge and access to programs that can keep you out of the hospital. Yeah. And be in a good state of wellness. Yeah. And that was subsidized, by the way, by Sharon. Sharon is paying difference. Every time you pay, she pays 3 times as much to cover you, because she's so passionate about the health of Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying to everybody on the call, for 1 year, what would you get in the hospital? So that's one thing. Yeah. So if you feel that you can't handle that, not a problem. Yeah. But there's a 30,000 one, which is for, like you said, for how many months?
That's 6 months.
6 months. Okay. Now, just quickly, they have access to what? The chefs?
Okay, so yeah, so many health benefits. I mean, so many benefits, pardon me. So sign up benefits.
Yeah.
One of them is that first off, you get your access to your 30-day meal plan. That's for the 1 year. And if you're on the 6 months membership, you get access to your 15-day meal plan. Yeah, that comprises of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also short videos accompanying the menus to show you how to cook the meals. That's one out of so many other benefits.
Okay, just one, careful, because we're in Nigeria. Yeah. They might misinterpret what you said. You're not sending them breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No. Yeah. I'm not sending.
Not for the whole year. Not for 30 days. Yeah. You are giving them access to the recipes so that they can prepare their own food. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Okay.
So that brings us on to another thing. We have our Best Food Clinic. If they want us to provide the food, they can actually buy the food and they get delivered to them to their office. Am I right, Sharon? That one?
Yes, absolutely right. Either their home or their office.
Fantastic. So if you are lazy like me, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, and you can get the food. Okay, so quickly, we're 1 more minute left.
Okay.
1 more minute left.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you have access to that. You have one-to-one consultations with your nutritionist, both our local and our international nutritionists. You have access to our live cook schools. We offer, health seminars, and then you have, access to, restricted access basically to health information that others do not have access to. Then in addition to that, our Salad Master products, you get huge discounts on, Salad Master items, yeah, and so much more.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
And if I can just add,
Yep.
Tony, sorry,
Yep.
once you have completed your 30-day Health Restore sessions, then you get given a certificate of completion to
Fantastic.
show that you have completed, which is very important. There's a
Fantastic.
result there that you've completed it.
Fantastic. So thank you. So thank you very much, Jeremiah. Thank you very much, Nike. And over to you, Sharon, to round up. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Okay, it's been an absolutely fantastic mine of information today. Thank you, Jeremiah and Tony and Nikki. It's just actually relating to something that you covered. In one of the courses, if you become a gold membership, you have access to this course, which is all about how you can make your kitchen into a clinic, which in turn will give you that better health, better understanding, and better mindset. So thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming on the call. Thank you. I've unmuted you. We can say our bye-byes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Yeah. There's
Thank you,
yeah. Sorry? Sorry?
Thank you,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye,
care,
Mr.
everyone. Have a happy, healthy
George.
week.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. I'm looking for his name. Bye-bye, Mr. Chindo. Bye-bye. Madam Christie. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Someone's asking questions.
Is there a question?
Yes.
What's the question?
Said, good morning. My name is Mushu Mullah. Okay,
go
Nikki, I responded.
Okay. Okay. So she's responded. Okay. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for coming on the shows. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.